Carl Wilkens is an American Christian missionary and the former head of the Adventist Development and Relief Agency International in Rwanda. In 1994, he was the only American who chose to remain in the country after the Rwandan genocide, rescuing many Tutsi children. We are honored that he has chosen to appear in tonight's program.
31 years ago, my wife and I moved our young children to the center of Africa, to this little nation called Rwanda that was really only known for the mountain gorillas, peaceful little country. We went there to partner with the Rwandan people to build schools and operate clinics. And it was a great place to raise our kids, and we had some amazing experiences in the first 4 years. Then this man-made tragedy struck. In April 6, 1994, the president's plane was shot down, and a small group of extremists used that to launch this extermination campaign, saying that the minority group, the Tutsi, had killed the president. This extermination will soon become known in the history books as the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, where more than 1 million people were killed. Planes shot down Wednesday night. By Friday, the American government is saying we're all evacuating. I mean, we're taking everybody out. Every international organization was doing that. Even the UN, which is a massive tragedy. 2,500 UN soldiers were there. They could have stopped it, but they evacuated. Well, in our house, we had a young lady who lived and worked in our home and loved on our kids, and she was of the minority group. My wife and I went in the bedroom, we talked, we prayed. We're like, we can't just leave this young lady to be tortured and killed. Or a young man also who was there in the evening, trapped there as the night watchman, part of the minority group. With those two people, we just thought, the Rwandans give us so much privilege, so much respect. Maybe we could leverage that to help protect these two people. I don't know what we can do we didn't even know the word genocide at that point in the big picture, but the people right here, maybe we can do something. And I look back on that and I think that's probably one of the biggest things in a crisis is to realize that you really can do something. You can make a difference. You might not, in the big picture, but right in front of us. So my wife took our kids to safety. I stayed. Eventually I'll start working during the 3 months with Rwandan colleagues to bring food, water, and medicine to groups of orphans around the city. And there was one day where my friend Gasikwa Alize and I showed up at the orphanage with a truckload of barrels of water, and within minutes we were surrounded by about 50 militia guys. They called them Int'l. It was 2-3 hour standoff. I don't know why they weren't coming in because I was there. I don't know if it was my connection with, actually, this sounds crazy, with some of the leaders of the genocide in the city. I was working as a humanitarian, had to build relationships with people in power. Not sure why, but they didn't come in. And long story short, I actually ended up asking the the real prime minister they killed at the beginning of the genocide. This was like a coup. That the genocidal extremist guy that they put in, Kambanda, I asked him to stop the massacre, which I never would have thought to do if it wasn't for the secretary in this government office, who I'd love to meet someday. But crazy enough, I think he had other ulterior motives, but he stopped the massacre. There were so many times when I partnered with people I never would have imagined that could have done something kind or save a life. And I think that fits in so well with March of the Living, and this idea of light in the darkness. When we believe there's nothing good, we rarely find good. But if we believe something's good, I think you have a better chance of finding it. The genocide ended with the Rwandan Patriotic Front, basically children of refugees who had grown up in other countries, Rwandans, stopping this genocide that the whole world failed to stop. Then it's amazing to stop it, but how do you rebuild it? How do you put pieces together like this? And Rwanda made this bold decision to go restorative instead of punitive, to like with the pyramid, instead of looking for the truth, instead of the truth to blame, we're looking for the truth to understand the harm, and then a repair plan to repair that harm, which includes justice. But the top of the pyramid is healing, and that prioritizing of repair over blame is one of the most important lessons I think we can all learn. One of the things that keeps me going as I travel to schools sharing the stories of Rwanda then and now is our potential to choose repair over blame, to go the direction of restorative and healing thinking, which is really counterintuitive, takes a lot of hard work, but Rwanda gives us a lot of inspiration for that. You know, they have a motto every year that says, remember, unite, renew. And I think that dovetails perfectly with the mission of March for the Living.